Diego Music exclusive.
I grew up like a savage. One, two, 1, 2. You now rocking with the No Vultures podcast. You got me, myself. You got OG Clee going out on, I give him sick leave today. And today we got a very, 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 very special guest. Now, this guy, if you don't know his face right now, then you've been under a rock. And if you in the marijuana community, you definitely sleep because this guy is the most famous face associated to marijuana outside of the Zigzag Man.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? He has done the most branding in marijuana since I don't know who. I don't know who has branded themselves or a brand in this business, in this field, period. You know what I'm saying? At all. This guy is, I don't know, I'm not even sure how many albums he has, but you know he's a hip hop junkie because he doesn't stop working. He loves rap music, and I happen to know that he was a great freestyler. Today we got Berner on No Vultures, man.
Proud on, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Man.
Out 50 albums out.
50.
Yeah, 5-0.
God damn, that's Floyd Mayweather number, man. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And I got to give you the disclaimer, Bern. Like, started a podcast just because, just like you, I got an affinity and love for hip hop, and not just hip hop, the surrounding culture, right? So anything, whether it's the industries that you've mastered, whether it's, anything associated with culture. You know, we from the Bay, so we got a diverse culture. So that's a lot of stuff that's that comes with that. So all the way back from fucking breakdancing to skateboarding, you know what I'm saying? Like that's me. And so I started this to start giving out flowers to people before, anything wrong happened, because we tend to gravitate towards the negativity.
Yeah,
in the media.
and we wait too long to give people their props, especially where we're from. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why hence the title No Vultures, because I don't like culture vultures. You know what I'm saying? Heard Dame Dash say it years ago, and I've been running with it ever since.
Facts, man. That boy got game too. I got a chance to chop it up with Dame back in the day, so he definitely knows what's up. He's been through some shit. He's seen a lot of vultures in his time, for sure.
Yes, sir. City born and raised.
Yep.
San Francisco, California.
San Francisco, moved out to Arizona for a little bit, 6th through like 10th grade, back and forth. But yeah, SF, born and raised.
And so did you, like, if I'm correct, you had like a dual citizenship in neighborhoods, as far as like being in the Sunset neighborhood and the Fillmore, because you was at a restaurant with Pops in the Fillmore?
Yeah, so like, when I was younger, like I said, from like 6th to like 11th grade, let's call it, my father had a restaurant right there on California and Fillmore. So it wasn't the Fillmore district, but obviously it's right down the street. So I'd ride that 22 up to Hayes Street, whatnot, or go do my thing. I'd always pass by the Mo and used to steal video games and movies right there at the Blockbuster right there in Fillmore. Go sling it to the barber. Rest in peace, Kev. That was on Fillmore and Geary. So I just felt like a little connection to the neighborhood.
You know? When you was growing up back then, like, and I'm assuming you moving around in the 80s, like, so, the neighborhood is vibrant. It's a lot going on. It hasn't been gentrification yet, right? So, like, what was like Berner's soundtrack? Like, what did you hear and what did you see? Like, what was the vibration?
Man, like, what I used to hear a lot was, like, when I was around the time I was actually really moving around would be Cash Money, bro. People slapped the fuck out of Cash Money, especially when I went to Gal. When I went to Galileo, they were slapping the hell out of Cash Money. But me, truly though, what I heard and what I chose to hear was just GLP, Yuck Mouth, 3 Times Crazy, the Jacka, Mac Dre, obviously E40, Too Short, JT the Bigger Figure, San Quinn, just all the shit that was really speaking to me. Rapping Forte, just all the real classic shit. That's what I fell in love with. And when I moved to Arizona, I preached that shit so hard. They be like, man, you from San Francisco, you gay. Or you from the home of Rice and Ronnie or the Cable Car, my bro. Now I'm from the home of 17 Reasons, 18 with a bullet, shout out to Gold Toes. I just show them them compilations, my bro. Y'all wouldn't last a day in the city.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Take this bus line and see if you can make it all the way up to the top. I doubt you could. So, I just I fell in love with the Bay music so much more because when I moved, people didn't understand where I was from. And we're so, like you said, diverse. You got the Asian mob cats. You got just so much different people that were just doing so much dope shit out here in the Bay that I just try to preach it everywhere I went.
Yeah. Speaking of Galileo, Gil from Galileo. You know what I'm saying? I know some people that went to school with you and they talk about Gil, you know what I'm saying, that he was quiet, you know what I'm saying, he was slick, he moved around with Renz and Trey. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Rest in peace, Renz. You know what I'm saying?
man, rest in peace
Chris.
to the brother Rans, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know about that? Yeah, yeah, man. I like Galileo. It was cool. We just got big high over there.
Yeah. A lot of people went to Galileo, you know, and when I talk about, you know, you got the same reputation, and that's what I like about people. Period. Is like when they be the same their whole life. Like, you know what
I
I'm
ain't
saying?
changed at all.
They like, man, that's the same dude. He just super smooth, super cool, and but you was tagging and shit back then.
Yeah, that's how I got the name Berner. Well, really, I started writing bursts at first, and then my homie from Hunters Point, David, he was in a crew called 3F. He wrote Berner with a U, and he got saved, bro. He found God, and so it's like, bro, I'm putting this shit down. He was drinking, he was doing a lot of shit. He had a hard time, and I said, bro, you about to R.I.P. Berner? He said, yeah. I said, man, I've been eyeing that name for a long time. I said, I'm about to use it with E. It's good. He said, yeah. So I just kind of ran with it.
That's dope. And like, what would you like? What was y'all like hitting up buses and like stuff like that?
I know was never good at like full on pieces and shit like that, murals, but I would just hit up buses. I used to have my OG Scriber with me, my little streaker, you know what I'm saying? Like my little, you know, I could do walk downs in the bus would be the most I do. You just sit there, big letters down the whole panels of the wall, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a rush at the time. It was some bullshit, but that's what I was into. You know
what was the like I've been trying to figure this out and I hit dregs about this, right? Because I try to get into the graffiti community and know who's who, and you know, you see certain tags and you always see them, right? But where does it come? And I'm a beat street kid, so I know spit. You know what I'm saying? I know about the disrespect part, right? But how does that rule go as far as like murals? Like when people, is that an unsaid rule, or are you not supposed to touch people's shit?
You ain't supposed to touch nothing. Like you see you scribe on a bus and you see someone just and then put it, you know, just it's like anything else. It's just competition. So, you know, respectfully, you're supposed to let your shit rock. If you got a spot, you're supposed to let it rock. But then, you know, crews used to have beef and people used to buy, man, that boy's a toy. He's can. Yeah. He's can. He's a toy. And they just cross that shit out. Man, look at his style. It's whack as fuck. He don't know how to use a can. He don't know how to use this. Boom, boom, boom. So it'd just be crazy. So I think the rules are, shit, if you trash, someone's going to cross your bitch out. Cross your shit out and put their shit up.
Who was the man in your time?
Bro, honestly, my boy Berner was the one, bro. He was crazy. He was turned up. And then I'm trying to think who else was going crazy. My boy Fresh. There was a lot of cats doing their thing, bro. Like, it was just a lot of people. My boy Topper, he used to rap too. Topper used to do his thing. Conceit. There was just a lot of people doing their thing.
I think, like, Conceit should still be out here. Like, I think I see it.
Yeah.
Now, when you growing up, right, with your background, so you being half Italian, half Mexican, right, like the lines that get pushed, especially in Oakland, San Francisco, San Jose, maybe Richmond, like as far as like the gangs, right, gang banging, and like how did you avoid that? Because you know every day you can get sweated or you can be fooled or it can go either way. So like how did you avoid that? Because San Francisco is big on it, especially when it comes to Latino.
Man, the Bay Area is big on it, and just like Northern California is big on it. And I think that the reason why I've been so successful is because I never put myself in a box. But you know, look, at the end of the day, I'm not a gangster, bro. I get money. I'm a player. I'm like you said, I'm smooth. But I've understand how to play human chess my whole life. You have to understand how to be able to kind of adapt, how to kind of be a chameleon, how to be cool with but not affiliated with in a way that puts you in a box. So I got down with everybody, really. You know what I'm saying? I was hanging out with the Asians, getting money more than anything. And I used to, when I moved back from Arizona, I went to Gal. You know, there was a couple of Southerners that went to Gal, and I remember the North Daniels coming through and just smashing on fools and just seeing all that negative shit, and I was like, man, I can't be a part of none of that shit. So
right. I hope that kids look at you right now, right, and I hope that they're able to have foresight on what they think their life should look like later on, instead of, because I just had this talk with Bill Haney and Devin Haney about how our neighborhoods, you almost get the right of passage for doing the wrong shit, right? Yep. And so it's like, I appreciate you showing a nice lifestyle, right? Because I got this by being a player.
For sure, I got it by being neutral, understanding people are just people. You know what I'm saying? I never really understand the whole gangbang shit. I understood neighborhoods because naturally you're from a different neighborhood, and there's been things going on long before we've even we're here. So it's you kind of inhabit and kind of. I knew that I was fortunate enough to have two parents that loved me. I wasn't from that shit. My parents worked very hard, and I was raised with a lot of love. That's why I always try to spread. You know, I've always just try to spread my love, use my platform to kind of bring people together. I really care about that shit.
That's dope, man. And is it safe to say high school is when you start hustling?
Nah, I mean, no, I hustled way before high school. Shit, I mean, 6th grade is when I started hustling.
So you was actually, because I heard a story before. So you was in AZ, right? And did you is that where you discovered like Reggie, or you had already seen some bullshit out here?
Bro,
before?
when I was in 5th grade, I was an innocent kid. I was chilling. I don't know how I didn't get caught up with nothing out here, but I was good. When I moved to Arizona in 6th grade, I learned about coke, crystal, acid, hella Reggie, like real bells of Reggie.
Yeah,
I learned the drug game in Arizona big time. All my homeboys, big brothers were going crazy, and they would just front this shit. Go sell this shit at school. Go crazy. Go do this. Here's a sheet of acid. I'll give it to you for $100. Oh, there's 100 hits in here. How much you sell it for? $5? Oh, you can make $400.
Yes.
We had the whole school on acid, so we were going crazy in Arizona, and I would bring it back to the Bay and kind of like. Then that's how I discovered the difference between California weed and Reggie, and so I started bringing weed back from the Bay to Arizona. And so in middle school, I was a man for sure, but I wasn't like clogging hella bread like how you see in movies with hella shoe boxes full of hundred shit. I was just doing that shit to get high and have fun, really, to be honest with you.
Right. That's usually typically what you're doing at that age. You
Yeah,
know
I
what
wasn't
I'm saying?
hustling to be like some master kingpin or shit.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, we having the most fun. We eating good. We getting high. We fuck with all the bitches. We having a
Right.
good time. We were the guys.
Shout out to Lil D, because I told him he was one of a kind. Most people at that age wasn't taking the shit that serious.
Nah.
He was on one.
He was on one.
He was on one.
Shout out to Lil D. I just got a chance to sit down with him the other day, dude. Really good dude.
Yeah, he told me he came to see you, man. Yeah, really good dude. Shout out to Lil D. So like at Galileo, you full-fledged on already hustling.
Hell yeah.
And they always said that you was the man, but like in those days, like how did you keep it low key? Because I see kids doing wild shit now, but like that's like a felony back then, basically.
Well, I mean, back then it was just weed, so in SF it wasn't really that big of a deal. I was just slanging sacks at school. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially at Gal and then at Lincoln when I left Gal, I moved to the Sunset. Because when I went to Gal, I lived with my dad on Fillmore, California. And it was like anything went because my dad wasn't really paying attention. He didn't pay the phone bill. We had no phone. He wasn't checking the mailbox. There was no kind of like tab on me going to school or doing anything. I was just wilding out. So my mom had moved back there from Arizona back to the Bay. It was just like, nah, you gotta be focused. You gotta finish school. So she got a house in the Sunset, and I went over to Lincoln. And I remember, that's when I had ran into some trouble because I was getting weed from a boy over there on Fillmore and Haight, and he was getting shit from up top. And the Asians had Lincoln on Smash. They was all selling pineapple and mango. I was coming with Big Bud. I was coming to all kind of different shit. And there was like little beefs about that. Like, they're like, man, you fucking with our shit. And so that's the first time I actually ran into any kind of problems with that.
Okay.
But we turned it into something. I started fucking with the Asians and understood they had a lot of weight. And that's when I really started like elevating a little bit. I'm like, oh, all right, well, fuck getting a QP and a little half pound. Y'all will throw me four Ps?
4 Ps.
Oh, shit. Okay, y'all throw it to me? It's all good because they knew if I didn't come back with it, then you already know what happens. They're going to pull up 30 deep.
For sure.
So, yeah, Galileo was more low key because I was just slinging sacks, and then when I got to Lincoln, I was kind of just slinging sacks. But then that's when it turned into getting a little more weed from the Asians. I had a job then at Tully's coffee shop, and I used to put quarters, half ounces, and zips, and I was just trapping hard out of Tully's. And people would come through. I was working a regular job. I enjoyed the work. I like to work. That's why I work so hard now to this day. But I remember having the people at Burgermeister, the post office, people working over here, the hair salon, they'd all come through. I had the whole neighborhood, Coal Valley, on Smash. Wow. Everyone bought weed from me. I had quarters, eighths, zips all day long out the coffee shop.
And you was ahead of the game because most of us only knew how to grind on the turf. Nobody really knew how to spread their game out like that.
Yeah, not to sound shady, but I was stealing from there too. So, every time somebody would buy coffee and give me even change, or they'd buy a pound of coffee, they'd come buy a pound of coffee for the crib. We just type in the little number, say see it, then press exit and write a little note. And at the end of the day, we pulled about $300 or $400 out the register, and we was slanging weed out there. We just ran it up hard. Bro.
Ran it up, yeah. Now, the infamous strain of weed that we would like, I want you to explain this because you are a weed veteran and you are a real San Francisco native. What is Nade?
Man, Nadine. I mean, Nade is something that was coming from Canada, and I think the Hell's Angels or some kind of group was bringing it in, and it was at first that's what it was. Then there was different batches of Nade being sprayed. I remember going to Third and Palu or something like that with my boys and buying a couple sacks of Nade, and then bringing it back to Arizona, and chicks started getting hell sick off it and started tripping out. I'm like, man, this shit's gone too far, right? But Nade had this shit smashing in San Francisco, and the Oakland version of it was Crip.
Crip. Now, I was about to ask you that. Did you experience, because for a long time, Crip was like only coming out of two places. You had on 72nd, you had Honey Boom in the alley, and then you had like Alvin Groom had it for a while, and maybe somebody guys around Parker Street, Greenside, but it wasn't everywhere, right? So like, as far as the Nade, like, was it isolated like that too? Only a couple people had it?
I mean, bro, you had to go to Hunter's Point to get the Nade. At least that's what I had to do.
Okay.
And you would only be able to get 10 sacks of that shit. So I bought like 15, 20, 10 sacks and just would go do my thing with it. And around that time is when they had Pelly too. Pelly was popping around that time too.
The Champagne, yeah. And then, you got those, these are classic Bay Area strands. And then, shit like Red Fence, but I always wanted
Blackgate on Fillmore.
I always wanted to know, did people do extra shit to the weed? Because it was like...
Yeah, I mean, bro, like the one I brought back to Arizona at that time, that shit was definitely fucked with, for sure. It was sprayed with some shit, for sure.
Yeah. And now around this time, is this around the time Toriano took you to the hip hop club and for the freestyles and shit?
Mm-hmm. Right there on Hayes Street, the Rock and Java.
Yeah, because it was a coffee shop too, right?
Yeah, so Toriano used to come into Telly's when I was selling weed and shit, and he used to come and get his free coffee, ice cream shake every time he pull up. That boy pull up, he had a little chick from where was she from? Minnesota or some maniac shit, dude. Yeah, he was on his shit back then, and he would come get his free coffee shake, and then we bonded a little bit. His brother Marco was crazy as fuck. Would come in there and be a menace and take things without asking and shit like that. But me and Toriano started bonding, and he started bringing me down to Rock and Java. He would make me battle people for fun, and he got a kick out of it. So
yeah.
He made me battle this guy, Mr. 3. He made me battle his cousin. He made me battle everybody.
Diego Music exclusive.
I grew up like a savage.
Cousin, he made me battle everybody, and people would get pissed.
Because I heard you was killing shit back then. You was a great freestyler.
Yeah.
What did that come from? Is because you said your inspirations was the Bay Area music, right? Mm-hmm. And all of those classic groups. Like, did you have any East Coast people that you listened to?
Man, like, of course, yeah. I used to like shit like DMX. I mean, for sure, not East Coast, but Pac. But then I would listen to shit like Dead Prez and just all kind of different shit. If it was dope, I'd fuck with it.
Yeah, because to me, that's what your music sound like. To me, your music sounds like you listen to everything. Like you get a kick out of all kind of music. And so, because it's not like in one pocket. You know what I'm saying? It's everywhere.
I like to experiment, but I really like that sample shit like that, real gritty. And I look at it like this. I like my music to be timeless. Like right now, when I was doing my rehearsal, I brought out some songs from 2009, 2014, and shit sounds fucking good still to this date. Like, there's gonna be people all through that crowd that's not gonna even know that shit, but it sounds hella good still. And I actually rap it way better now because I've matured as an artist. So I like to pick timeless music. I don't like that shit that's a fad. I never jumped on fads. I just like to pick something that will sound good, kind of treat it like a polo shirt. This jacket right here, it's gonna look good in 20 years. I mean,
classic.
I'm an OG. I'm very mellow, very smooth. I'm not so loud. These jeans are kind of loud for me. I don't even really rock shit like this, but they're the new Cookie jeans, so I wanted to rock them real quick.
Okay, you them looking good too. That's dope.
I got a nice little cookie puff coat for the night, but I like to just be timeless, and that's what my music is. That's the best way to describe it. And I was telling my girl this. I'm like, I'm not really into it for music, like radio hits or trying to get big records on TV and shit. I like timeless music that you can ride to, get money to, relate to, get high to.
Yeah, that's dope. And shout out, speaking of cookies, shout out to my boy Kwang. He used to talk so much shit about having at Mainland Skate Shop about having the second biggest cookies account. He used to always say that. You see Berner tell him I got the second biggest account. So he used to always say that. But speaking of the music and starting to get into the music, when you jumped in and you started rapping, like, how did it feel? Was it harder for you to get in the studio with people or get features, or did you just full on take it all the way serious?
Now I took it all the way serious, bro. Like, I think if you look at my first album with Equipto, I looked at it like anything else. I'm like, all right, I'm new to this shit. I want to do this shit. I had money, and that's the one thing I did use my money from when I was doing my thing. I kind of saved it and put it into the music and shit like that. So that's why when you look back in 2006 all the way in all those early 2000s, my shit looked the best. It sounded the best. The beats were the best. My rapping wasn't the best, but I was coming out with the best packaging. I would go to Rasputin and get them big old billboards. I'd be up there with everybody because I had that, you know what I mean? So I had a little, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I came into it as a fan, and I came into it trying to figure out how I can collaborate with different artists, like, you know, like Equipto, like Ampachino, like the Jack, you know, Messy Marv at the time, whoever I was doing collaboration albums with, and put them on incredible beats with an incredible package album from top to bottom with big features and roll it out and have people be like, who the fuck is this dude on here? And I remember back in the days, like the Barrier Rap Talk, they'd take me off my own albums, they'd do like a non-Berner version, but then people would really search and want to go hear the real version. So
Right.
it really just kind of helped me out more than anything. And I feel like I tell people to this day, especially in the days of like cancel culture and a bunch of bullshit where people talk shit online, if you could survive Barrier Rap Talk, you could survive anything.
Wait, they would take your albums and make non-Burner versions of your albums?
Yeah. Yeah. The
Man, that's crazy as fuck.
sickness.net was a sick ass place, bro.
Sickness, what the
Sick ass
fuck?
schools on that shit. And they would take my album with Jacka, for instance, and they would only put Jacka's verses on there. But the problem was the beats were so dope. People are like, bro, I don't just want to hear that 53 seconds. Where's the rest of this shit at?
Right.
So it made them have to go listen to it. And bro, I just kept working. I kept working. And finally, I kind of got people on that side to be like, bro, you know what? You're fresh, bro.
I always felt like you would also be a great CEO and A&R, like because of your ear, because of the way your like, to me, Gotti was flawless.
Gotti was really good.
Like at
But
the
I thought it
time-
was dying when I did Gotti.
You thought you was done? Oh, dying. Yeah, with cancer. Yeah.
I didn't know if I was ever gonna make it again, so I was like really forced to have
That
to give
shit
everything.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Like that shit came out crazy. Like, before we get to that, but I want to say an address and see what it means to you. 4811 Gary.
That's my life, brother. That's my life, bro. I dream about that place at least like no exaggeration, at least like 7 to 10 times a month. I have a very vivid dream about that place.
Wow.
Yeah. And my goal is to buy that place. I mean, they try to sell it to me for like $12 million. I don't have that kind of money right now to go put it up for it, but I'm gonna buy that building for sure. That's my shit.
That's your trap.
Yeah, that's my trap.
Yeah, for sure. And basically a place where you actually learn the business for real.
I learned everything about the business. I learned everything about like how to purchase flour, how to work with vendors. I got a lot of plugs from that building. I got a lot of good like introductions to other artists in that building. I brought Drake to that building. I brought, Be Legit brought some powerful people to that building that changed my life forever. Shout out to Be Legit. I love you, big brother. Like that building changed my life for sure.
And speak to that too. I know two people that was real heavy and influential with you early on is Vila and G Stack.
Man, shout out to G Stack, man. Like G Stack and me had a very special relationship because we got bred together and we trusted each other. And in a time that a lot of people didn't trust each other, and people would be scared of Stack. You know what I'm saying? Pulling up in that murder van.
Right.
He had that crazy van. That's when people would ride them crazy vans.
Yeah.
He'd pull up and he would handle his business, bro. And he really was a purple man, bro. And a lot of that purple in Oakland came from me. And the funny thing is I never really ever really bragged about it like that because when I was doing my thing, I was quiet. I was low key. But, man, I moved a lot of bags of purple to Oakland. Matter of fact, bro, hundreds of pounds of purple a month would come from me. And I never speak on it, but you brought it up. And so
Right.
you can go look at all my interviews. I might have sprinkled a little bit, but, bro, I was hooking up the purple man with the perp, and that was because of the Asians.
Yeah, they had it too. And what was your first experience with purple though? Was it Ken's?
Nah, my first experience with purple was my boy Red. He brought it through. He was getting it from up north, and they had it on Smash. And then by the time I actually really started getting like big like loads of purple, like like weight of purple was through the Asians because they end up getting the cut and it kind of leaked to the bigger grows and they had the shit on Smash. And the Asians are so ill, bro, and people don't give them their credit in San Francisco, bro, like that when it comes to the weed game. I used to go to like a laundromat in San Francisco on a very well-known busy ass street, and there'd be a guitar shop right next door, and the laundromat was closed, gates on it, locks on it, and then you go into the guitar shop and enter into the laundromat through a side door, and they was growing big weed right there on the street where the train would go down every day, where people are walking, where there's restaurants, coffee shops, donut shops, like they would do it right there, and crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
But my first experience with purple was from Humble.
Okay. When I first heard you musically was Yoko, right? And I'm a rap nerd, right? So I started analyzing this shit immediately, right? So I'm saying, okay, here's this guy Berner. Like, to me, you are an average everyday Bay Area guy that probably is a drug dealer, is what I'm thinking, right? This is what I'm seeing. Like, nigga probably got packs or he probably do something, right? He's a rapper, right? But I didn't understand immediately the Chris Brown and Wiz feature, right? And so I started taking a deep dive to find out who you were, right? And then so I found out and I said to myself, is this what having the pack do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like you said, you wasn't scared to spend your money on your own, but I thought that having the bags got you those features.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's what having good weed does. I wasn't just breaking dudes off. I was at Paramount. So the way it worked was I got the beat and the hook from Big Crit.
Okay.
Right?
Shout out Big Crit.
Shout out to Big Crit. He came out here to the Bay. He was with my boy Johnny Shipes at the time, Cinematic Music. And so I sat down with him. I got the beat from him. I bought the beat off him. It was like 3 G's or something like that. Cashed him out. Bless me. And then Wiz was the homie at the time. So I'm like, Wiz, I just started fucking with Wiz. And shout out to Mr. Fab. Mr. Fab connected me with Wiz. So I told Wiz, I'm like, bro, I need a feature from you. It was the first feature I ever got from him. He's like, bro, I don't really know how to, I don't really do that so much. I'm like, well, look, bro, here's a record. If you fuck with it, fuck with it. Told me to pull up, knocked out the verse. I'm like, cool. Here's my foundation. I got Big Crit and Wiz. I was in the studio trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my part, and I seen a guy in the hallway say, "You Berner, huh?" He said, "You the one with the cookie shit, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, here's a little nug. He said, "Bro, my name is Twan. I fuck with Chris Brown." Okay. He's like, "Brown over there in the room right now." I said, "Okay." He said, "You want to meet him?" I said, "Yeah." Went there, shook his hands. He smoked that bud I gave Chris. He's like, "Yo, bro, cuz wants some more of that." He liked that. I'm like, "Bro, I got a little jar for you." I'm like, "What's up? I want you to get on this record." He said, "Oh, man, you tripping." I said, "Bro, see if you can make it happen." He's like, "I got you." He's like, "Bro, give me £1 for that. I got you." £1 for Chris Brown?
Right.
Right?
But we talking about £1 at that time too. So y'all don't think about these pounds
but
now.
It's a pound of weed that you just can't get.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And so we took care of Chris. He was loving that shit. And I asked for the video, and he was like, "Man, Brown ain't going to do the video unless you make it fun." And his manager at the time was like, "Nah, no video. You can't do no video." And, I went and finesse. Stretch will tell you, I went and finesse at the racetrack down in Irvine or some shit like that, where the NASCAR people are. I called him first. I was like, "Yo, I got a video shoot. Can I kind of talk about renting out the racetrack?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "I can't?" He's like, "Nah." I said, "Will you mind if I pull up on you?" He's like, "If you like to hear no in person, yeah." And that's the first time I remember I looked at Stretch, because I think I was living with Stretch at the time in Hollywood. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm about to go." I took his cab, OG taxi cab, dog, out there, and I sat down with this guy, and he was like, "Oh, you really showed up?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, look, bro, like, I really want to rent this. I have to make a big move for this guy to come out for the video." He's like, "Well, first of all, bro, that parking lot right there, we rent that out for $15,000. You want the racetrack?" He's like, "I'm not going to even quote you a number because I don't think you have it. And also, look at the sponsors on the wall. You got Pepsi, you got this, you got that. Why would I even want your money for that?" So I'm like, "Can you do me a favor?" He's like, "Yeah." Pull up YouTube. He said, "Okay." I'm like, "Type in Wiz Khalifa." Types it in. He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, type in Chris Brown." "Okay, what's your point?" "I don't really need any more sponsors. I told you I don't need any more eyes there." I'm like, "Here's the point. Type in Berner." But I got 1,000 views. They got millions of views. I'm like, "If you let me do this, you could change my life." Right. I'm like, "But I respect your position. I want to come here and hear no in person." I got up and I started walking out the room. I shook his hand and told him, "Thank you." He's like, "You know what? I got you, bro. Come here tomorrow. You don't need your $1,500. That's all I had at the time. I don't know why I only had $1,500. It's kind of sad. I was
Right.
hustling and shit
Yeah.
like that. I only had $1,500. He's like, bring $500 for the ambulance because we have to have an ambulance here. You guys can have 1 hour. I'm like, cool. Woke up the next morning. He called me. He's like, Berner, how you doing? I said, good. I'm on the way. Is everything okay? He's like, man, everything is great. He's like, my daughter is a fan of that guy, Chris Brown. He's like, so I want to show off for her. I got the guys that just drifted for Otis coming out for you. They're bringing out some pretty big trucks. I'm like, okay. I didn't really think of what he was talking about. We showed up. Motherfucking NASCAR shit, dog. They had the big trucks that just... And he told me that Kanye and Jay Z paid like 180 G's to them dudes to drift for the Otis video. I think that's the name of the song. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was Otis. Yeah.
But these dudes put on a whole fucking show, and that's why when you watch Yoko, they're spinning the fucking whips around Chris. And so it's part having pack, but also part knowing what to do with it, and part mouthpiece, bro. I think the mouthpiece, the being a solid guy, I could have just took no on the phone and be like, all right, fuck it. Well, I'm fucked.
Right.
I was like, nah, bro, I'm going to come pull up on you. And I took an 1.5 hour cab ride, dude, and he seen me pull up in the cab. And I actually had to call a cab to leave, too, because I don't drive.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? I think it's just being persistent, bro, and being passionate and actually just connecting with people is what got me, like, where I'm at. People might say he was just a weed man. Okay, well, we know hella weed man that want to rap. We know hella coke dealers want to rap.
Yeah.
Why ain't work?
Yeah. Yeah. Would you attribute any of that to from being from the Bay Area? Because I think a lot of times we have that in us, but we don't know how to use it, right? So usually people will have the same game you got, but they'll treat everything like a lick. You treated it like you loved it and like it was a business. Even having the audacity to jump in the cab to be on your way to be practically be told no.
You told me you want to hear no in person. I said, yes, I do. Because I knew if I should. Here's what people don't. People forget that people are people, bro. People got a conscience. They got a heart. Not everyone's going to tap into that, but you can sometimes. Mm-hmm. And so, I think it's, being from the Bay. It's from also being from San Francisco specifically. It's also being raised with love. And by someone, my mom, rest in peace, she had the mouthpiece, dog. Mm-hmm. She's on the phone in that picture. She had a mouthpiece. Mm-hmm. I got it from her. She just was good at conversation.
That's dope. Now, speaking of cookies, you worked in a dispensary. Let's talk about Jigga and how that whole situation transpired with the cookies.
Man, I met Jigga through my boy Emil. Shout out to my boy E. He has a brand called Head Stash right now. And we were just into Kush back in the days. We used to like to smoke Kush. And people used to be like, only ballers smoke Kush. It was like $400 a zip to get the right Kush, get the best Kush. And so he was like, bro, I got this guy that got fire-ass Kush. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, bro, I'm about to put you on. So we went to go meet him in the Sunset. And when I got a zip of Kush, he gave me like a little bag of cherry Kush.
Okay.
It was like his first breeding project pretty much. And so I smoked it. I loved it. And that was around the time I did the song with Sean Paul and the Youngbloods and San Quinn. And I made a T-shirt that said Cherry Kush on it because I wanted to impress Jigga. I was like, bro, I wanted to let him know, like, I'm going to put on for this shit harder than anyone else. Keep that coming to me. Because I sell weed and I understand what trends happen. You got Bubba Kush, you got Purple, you got OG. I knew that we needed something new. So I'm like, if I can get something new and get the jump on it, I'm going to go. So we were pushing Cherry Kush for a little while. Then Cherry Pie came. And I turned Cherry Pie into a real thing. I made that shit go viral between Wiz, Currency, Mass Pike Miles, and Shice Bubs. And the whole world started hip-hop. Phenomenon was popping at the time. So I had Cherry Pie viral, lit.
Cherry Pie is phenomenal, too.
I was able to sell these bags with seeds because he was breeding it and it wasn't stable. So, Stretch would tell you like this, like, who else can sell a pound with seeds for $4,800, bro? Like, and I created the slogan, if it ain't got the seed, it ain't the breed. And so, I would figure out ways to like actually get people in. Bro, let's be honest, the smoke tasted great. The cherry pie tasted great, smoked great, but it was not stable. So he's like, man, Jigga's like, man, this dude's cold. He's selling pounds all day with seeds. He don't give a fuck. He got people fired up on it. This dude's cold. So when he brought the cookies, he was like, bro, I got something for you. And I ain't got no seeds. It's stable. It's the one. It tastes like a Thin Mint Girl Scout cookie. I'm like, let me see that bitch. Fired up in my garage. I said, what you want for it? He's like, I need $4,300 for the P. I'm like, ooh, $4,300. And now, mind you, I was so cold when I was hustling. I would get a pound for like 38 and sell it for 48. I would make a stack on each one. So anyone I used to fuck with, I'm sorry, brother, I had to do what I had to do. But y'all was still making money anyways. But when he told me 4,300, I was like, damn, I only get to make $500 on this shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn it. Bro, I hear all these people today hustling. I'm trying to make $1 on each one. That's a waste of time. Go work at McDonald's if that's what you're doing. Because when I was in it, and I was the best at it, and I feel like I still am. And so, you know, at that time, he brought Girl Scout cookies to me, and I was like, bro, this is one. This is going to hit. I remember bringing it in order to Wiz, Currency, Alchemist. I showed it to Lil Wayne and Drake. Right. I started putting it in all the right hands. And I remember giving my plugs like G-Stack. I'd be like, bro, here's what you want, but take this little QP and go give it to people and tell them this new shit coming from the Bay. Like, just give it to them, bro. Like, you know, and especially out of town people, I'd be like, bro, go take this little QP and bring it to Houston. Just tell them it's from me. Tell them it's from the Bay. Just tell them it's something new. And by doing that, it hit me when I heard the Rich Homie Quan song. Girl Scout Cookie got me high today. I'm like, oh, it worked.
Yep.
It worked. And at the same time, it couldn't have been more perfect. And I'm someone that tells the truth. I don't exaggerate shit. I'm not going to take all the credit for it. This guy named Swerve from Cali Connection, he leaked the seeds. He got a bag seed. He feminized. He figured out how to produce the seeds and whatnot, and started dropping seed lines. And so people started getting cookies because everyone heard about it through me. And then people started getting and growing it all around the country, even out of the country, and growing it. But there was someone that they all thought was responsible for it, me. So it looked like I was fucking the biggest drug trafficker in the world because the shit was just hitting everywhere while I was popping it online, while other rappers was popping it. And it was the perfect fucking fire. It was incredible. It was like it's the perfect rollout for something.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever happen again like that.
That shit was crazy. And like, and how did the name get shortened from Girl Scout cookies to cookies?
I didn't want a lawsuit.
Smart. And I remember this because it should give anybody motivation. Stretch was saying, man, I remember Berner printing merch himself at home, like screen printing. Like, that's a hustler, bro. Like you could easily outsource that, but how did you learn that for one, and what made you do it on your own?
Nah, I wanted to figure it out, bro. And I feel like if you're gonna learn, you gotta learn hands on. So we would print this shit at my homie's spot. We even bought a printer and started printing out the homie's garage. Got local printers. What I really did from the house was, you know, I found the different color strings that matched with the font. I would take the strings out, put it on like a little metal rack, little hanger, and put it through. And I'd pull the strings through myself. I'd package it. I'd take the orders and send them out myself. So, you know, my house.
You swapping out the drawstring to give your shit a different look.
Yeah, because I put the Thin Mint Cookie logo on there. I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, because remember the first time I ever wore cookies or ever let anyone see a cookies piece was for the Yoko video.
Right.
I knew, I'm like, all right, I put all this money and energy into this song. It's going to hit. I should wear my own shit in this video. So I made the first cookies hoodie for that video.
Okay.
I was looking at the hoodie. I'm like, it's cool with the black strings, but how can I make it pop? And I was walking down Hayes Street, and I passed by True, and there was some fatty laces in the window. And it was a brand called Fatty Laces. And they had these blue strings. I'm like, oh, shit, that looks like the cookie blueprint. I bought one. I brought it home. I looked at it. I was like, oh, shit, that shit is dead on. I'm like, fuck it. Went and bought all the ones from there. Hella high trying to figure out how to get the other one out and how to put it through. So what I did was I tied the blue string with some thin-ass tape to the string, and I pulled it through, and I'm like, oh, I cracked the code. The wire didn't work. The little hanger didn't work. The hanger was not working, but I used a little thin piece of tape, pulled that bitch through, unwrapped the tape, and picture doing that for 100 hoodies at a time.
You was working.
But I was selling them for $100. The first person actually put my face next to a brand of weed with the actual logo, an identity, and a colorway. Because right now in New York, across the street from Macy's, there's a building with 5 stories that's just painted blue, and everyone knows what it is. Think about how powerful it is.
That's crazy.
That's where the Thanksgiving Day parade has been going on since we were babies.
Yeah.
5-story building in New York. It's just painted blue, and everybody knows what it is.
That's crazy.
That's a brand.
That's dope as fuck.
That's a brand that's going to get bought one day.
That's dope.
Or bring a major liquidity event. So I'm waiting for it.
When you also think about not just cookies as the company, but the products that cookies produce, when you start thinking about branding, right? And I think it was also a game changer with the Gary Payton situation.
Yeah, Gary Payton, bro, like, shit like this, dog. Like these things went crazy. Let me see if I got it in here. These go crazy right here. This is called a dual chamber, right?
I seen you talking about that.
It's a pen, right? And on the bottom, you can switch back and forth. You hit it, and when the light turns a certain color, you're smoking cereal milk. When you hit the light, it turns the other color, you're smoking cereal mode. Or you could hit it a certain way, you could hit both at the same time. That's innovation, dog.
That's innovation.
But let me tell you something. This is the first sample of this new pen in my hand. We had the ones where you could hit one and click the button and hit another. This is the first one where you can hit both and hit at the same time. You know what I did? I made them bring this to me and go on a hike to put this in my hands. You see the prototype and all this shit for tonight. Why? Because as soon as I'm done with you, I'm about to go see Mexican OT and be like, bro, you ever seen this? It's gonna go on camera. It's gonna go viral. I'm gonna go give it to OGZ, bro. You ever seen one of these, bro? Here, you can hit cereal mode, cereal milk, or both at the same time. I'm gonna do my thing with this the same way I did back in the days when I introduced Cookie.
Right.
So the game hasn't changed. The game plan hasn't changed. I'm still taking something. These will drop like in 5 or 6 months, but I'm planting the seed now. Planting the seed now. I'm taking advantage of the fact that I got all these artists in this building. I only got, what are these? 3, 5. I got 6 of these motherfuckers. I'm about to make this shit stretch like it's a goddamn bread. Watch. You're going to see. This thing's going to go viral. You're going to be like, I just interviewed Berner. How's that all over his Instagram? Everyone talking.
Right.
That's what I do. I get down.
That's dope,
I get
man.
down.
That's hustling. With all of the accolades or success or everything that you've done, but you worked, because I don't want to act like this shit got handed to you, that you've done. When people, you said somebody like Steve Jobs, when you look at a person like Steve Jobs or Berner, right, and you thinking of wealth, right, and you thinking of success, you actually got sick, and you got cancer, colon cancer. What was going through your mind when you got diagnosed, and did you just go for a regular checkup and figured it out?
Nah, that shit came as a fucking miracle, to be honest with you, bro. Like, I just got a private doctor one day out of nowhere. They did a blood test. They found that shit and had to get a major surgery done, and then had to do chemo. After I got the surgery, I was supposed to be good. Then they did another test. Like, yo, you still got that shit. So I had to do chemo, and what went through my mind was like, damn, bro, I'm really about to go before I actually really touch my dough, because I just told you I made zero money off cookies when it comes to weed. I made money back in the days when I was trapping, but on the legal side of things.
On the legal side, yeah.
Damn, I'm about to go before I hit. I'm about to go before my daughter graduates. I'm about to go before I actually get recognized for all my work. This is fucked up. I'm like, this is fucked. And I realized on that hospital bed, I'm just a regular naked dude on this fucking 5th floor. No one gives a fuck. No money is going to change what the outcome is going to be.
Right.
I just got to put this shit in the universe and pray to God I'm good and stay clean. And this shit happened. I'm still here. And it's coming right out of that, bro, like, cover of Forbes, Ad Age Award. First person ever to be recognized on Ad Age for cannabis. Clio Award. Boom. Motherfucking got a baby boy on the way at 40. I didn't even think I was able to have kids again, bro, because the chemo shit, that shit will kill your shit. So I'm just happy. First time ever tonight with a live band, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, bro, I'm just came out and just wanted to do. I just was able to do everything I ever wanted to do, bro. Really.
That's
and
dope.
I actually started getting recognized for my shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You smoking now?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I got a little something for you real quick before I forget. This some new shit right here.
Yes, sir.
Barry
Appreciate
the Funk,
you.
man. You know what I mean?
What's this here?
That's some double platinum cookie.
Ooh, double platinum cookies.
Man,
Hey,
that shit-
speaking of platinum, you got plaques.
Yeah.
Come on now, Bern. That's not no, like, we from the Bay.
Yeah.
That's not just a bullshit accomplishment.
Nah.
Right? Like, you got plaques.
Yeah, I got a gold one and a platinum one.
How does that feel?
I look at it every day. It feels great. Bro,
Man.
there's still people out there that don't admit that I'm a rapper, bro. It's just like, all right, cool.
It's crazy because me and Stretch, we got this group chat, so we argue with everybody about this shit all the time, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, when we say things like, the Bay is not on, the Bay don't got nobody, Stretch always remind people, like, you can't take people out. Because I think that people tend to take you out because of your success with cookies.
Yeah, when the Rich Rapper list came out, and they're like, that was my biggest accomplishment to me. Like, the cover of Forbes and all that shit, that's cool. But when that list came out, it said Jay Z, Puff Daddy, Kanye West, Berner, and Dr. Dre. in that order. I was like, oh shit. And people are like, but Berner's not a rapper. I'm like, well, first of all, I got 50 albums out. And second of all, every single person on that list is on that list because they did shit outside of rap. Jay Z, Ace of
Outside of
Spades,
rap.
all that shit.
Outside
Diddy,
of rap.
everything outside of rap. Kanye, Adidas, all that shit. Dr. Dre, Beats. So what is different for me? Because I'm Mexican? Shit, I don't know. Or because I'm from the Bay?
Probably both. Probably both is.
I'm about to get that list tattooed on my arm, bro. Fuck that. That shit was huge for me. It was a major milestone.
That was major. And I'm gonna tell you something. We skipped over that. We just talked about it real quick. But Nick, that Forbes shit. Come on, let's be real.
Nah,
this
big,
is
bro.
what we grew up looking at. Like when you on this shit, like you that guy.
You meet multi-billionaires that can't get on that list.
Right.
It's about that list is so prestigious, bro. It's not about just money, bro. It's about Mark Zuckerberg's on that list. He's on the cover right now. He's on the cover right now. So there's a list and there's a cover. The cover, there's a handful of businessmen on the cover.
It's different.
And I walk in the room and you cannot. You can't buy that. You can't be rich enough to get on that. You gotta be a boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What I love about you, Bern, is that you almost have a kid-like mentality when it comes to doing everything you ever felt like you wanted to do.
For sure, I'm a dreamer.
I hate, and I don't use hate all the time, but I hate people that kill their own dreams.
Yeah,
I hate people that quit and give up. It's like, man, life is so good and so rewarding when you go after what you want, and it's so rewarding and fulfilling. When I see you move around, it's like you can't tell me what I can do, from the facility being built to doing a movie, and it's so organic and real to where you from. Like when you have a chance and an opportunity and the resources to do a movie, you do a movie about bipping, something that's major where we from. Whether you on the side of it that hates bippers, or you on the empathetic side and the side of people that's like, I'm a sympathizer. I see where, these dudes just trying to get a check. You know what I'm saying? But I see the way you move, and it's like you full of life. That's why I think you beat cancer, because you had too much life in you.
I bought that building when I got cancer, dog. First thing I did was I started reading about this shit. You got to have purpose in order to survive. I bought a building with my cash. So if I die, I'm an idiot, because I just took my daughter's money and put it into a building.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck that. I'm going to see it through and create something that's so powerful, bigger than everything I've done before. That is the creative compound that's spawning this first film. And the internet's going crazy. They're talking shit about baby, but you don't even know what the movie's about. The teaser has 0 words in it.
Right.
So it could be a crazy story y'all don't even know yet. So to everyone making assumptions about it, y'all don't even know what the movie's about yet.
Right.
Wait till it comes out. It's got a
And
good story
also,
to it.
I want to say this because a young lady told me this too. She said, well, Berner's doing this movie and we look a certain way. It's not about how we look. It's about art imitating life. We actually going through this shit, right?
We actually going through this shit.
Yeah.
And this movie's going to break a couple actors, bro. And it's going to put people from the San Francisco Bay Area in position to be an actual real actor and get some paper outside this film. And I never seen San Francisco look so pretty on the camera before, right? And I feel the responsibility after all my success to do for the Bay, what Spike Lee did for New York, what fucking Matt Damon and fucking Ben Affleck did for Boston, what all them boys did for LA. I'm going to do it for us.
That's
so if I have
dope.
to start with something edgy and raw that's going to bring people's attention, I'm going to do it. But I'll transition. But, bro, I'm going to be honest. I'm a hood poet anyways.
Right,
I'm a
right.
street poet. Bro.
Right.
Like, let me just tell my story. And so we ain't looking no type of way. We looking right now.
Yeah.
People are looking. And that's all that matters, because if I'm lying right now, bro, people from Lionsgate has reached out. People from Tubi has reached out. My people at FX has reached out. People are interested in what are you about to do with this film. So we're looking a certain way, or are we just having people look?
Yeah, we just having people look. We
Thank
just
you,
telling
brother.
our story.
That's what my whole thing is. That we got eyes on us we didn't have last week.
For sure.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
A couple things before we get out of here, Bern. I see that the way you do the 420 shit, or you've involved yourself with the Hippie Hill recently. I felt like what Cookies does and what you do kind of bled over into what's Hippie Hill, because it's organized now. It seems more professional. Not like it's, because people hear the word professional, they think that took the fun out. No, but weird shit was starting to happen. So the way it's set up now is perfect. And I know you had a lot of influence over that, and you've been a part of this shit your whole life, but you really put your stamp down on it. Talk to us about that a little bit.
I think it's dope to be able to see performers at Hippie Hill, bro. Like the picture I got, the first show I did, and this is how full circle it is. I put my money into that shit to try to help them organizing Hippie Hill. Nothing happened for a few years. Mm-hmm. The first show I did coming off of chemotherapy was at 420 Hippie Hill in San Francisco. I got the picture like this, with 30,000 people in the background. That's full circle.
That's dope.
That's why we did it, because people like myself and other people can experience what their home feels like when everyone's coming together doing some dope shit.
That's dope as fuck.
That's exactly. I never even thought of it like that until you asked me right now. That's crazy, because Hen was right there. That was I was nervous. They told me it was gonna take me 6 months to get back on my feet. I stopped chemo in fucking March. And I stopped chemo in March to be able to do Hippie Hill in 420.
Ooh.
I was supposed to rock till May. I was like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done with this shit. I've been good though.
That's crazy. That's damn, man. Berner love us, man. You know what I'm saying?
For sure though.
Hey, and another thing, the state of where we live right now outside of Bippin, right? So the break-ins, right? And I think the break-ins initially started with dispensaries, right? Mm-hmm. And for those brothers that's have sanctioned and unsanctioned weed that's growing, because we all got to feed our families. Could you speak about that, Berner, in a little bit? And like, how does it make you feel? I know you love the street, so you understand that it come with the game, but a lot of dispensaries closing, a lot of people losing their shit. Like, just speak on that a little bit.
Man, bro, we in the middle of the wave, dog. When you get hit with a storm, we're in the middle of the storm. Like, when our store got rioted on Melrose, I said what I said, and I meant it, bro. I'm like, how can I be mad or tell my people to use their weapons and harm somebody over something that they're feeling right now, right? The whole world is feeling what we're feeling. I'm even feeling it. Mm-hmm. Even though as a money getter, I'm feeling my pockets feeling light. And so you just have to learn how to adapt with change. I think it's pretty shady that California will put every dispensary owner's information public so people can find that shit. It's a setup. But again, I told you earlier in the interview, this shit's meant for people to fail. So be safe, watch your back. Shit's real. Motherfuckers run up in businesses and houses, but it's just part of the environment right now. You have to learn how to adapt to change. You have to learn how to move properly. And that's all I can say. Like, yeah. I've been good. I've been blessed. Doesn't mean I can't be touched. Doesn't mean that something bad might not happen to me, but I'm just going to move the way I need to move. I'm just going to put that good energy out there, and that's all you can do. Shit.
Well, ain't nothing going to be happening no time soon if he ain't got something to say.
For sure. That's why I say you got to move right. You got to move right.
The equity program. Real quick about that. Did it work? Is it working?
It's working because people like us are making it work. You know, like, I mean, prime example, the dude, our partner in New York, is about to have 51% of a $40 million a year store.
That's crazy.
That's real. You
That's
know, like,
crazy.
So it's working in the sense that, like, the brands are doing right by their partners. It could work. There's more work to be done. I want to help write some laws around social equity. I feel like we're paying all these crazy ass 30% taxes or something like that in cannabis.
That shit is crazy.
If that's the case, then that money should go to a fund for everyone that gets awarded a license so they can have startup money. So I don't even need a partner like me. So that's what we need to do next.
That's true.
So if I can wiggle my way into the White House or by one of these lawmakers, we're going to make it to where if we're going to pay 30% tax for cannabis, then it should go to people that are in jail for cannabis. Mm-hmm. Right? It should go to people that get a social equity license so they can start up their business. So they don't have to go partner with nobody. Mm-hmm. That's what it should be. Mm-hmm. The government don't need 30% tax on shit.
No, they don't. That shit is crazy.
Fuck out of here. They're going to go give it to somebody.
That shit is crazy. Being that this is a time in America that is a very historical time, this is, this is parallel and kind of equivalent to Prohibition. You know, at some point people was going to jail, being robbed and killed for product and all kind of, the Wild Wild West prior to it becoming what it is right now. You one of the faces and one of the leaders, man, and just as somebody that's been smoking damn near his entire life, I got to say I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
And thank you for all the work that you put in, because people don't realize that there becomes a time in this business where you could become very selfish and you could just be burner.
Or I could walk away and go live my life. Like I sacrifice all my time away from my family to still do this shit. Put on for all of us. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be the films, whether it be the weed, whether it be this show tonight. Like I just really care about the progress of all of us from the Bay. So,
that's dope.
You know what I'm saying?
And lastly, rumors are you got a situation with Stars.
Stars the TV network?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm developing the show FX.
With FX, okay.
Yeah.
With FX, okay. That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be. And is it safe to say it's gonna be Bay Area based?
I can't say.
Okay.
But
okay.
You know what? You can guess.
You can guess. You can guess.
You can guess.
You can guess.
I don't know. I would. You know. I mean, what I always. You know. What are we talking about the whole thing? Look at your shirt, man. Look at your hat, man. You know what I'm saying? Shit. It's gonna be about something.
About something, huh?
Yeah.
Man, Berner, man, I thank you for sitting down with us, man, and just giving us this insight, bro. Like, I'm gonna continue to support and continue to, you know, be right here and watch your shit, scream your name to the mountains. Because for me, bro, like being from where we from and having somebody like you, it's another reason to be proud. Same shit that Too Short made me proud. Same shit if Marshawn Lynch made me proud. If Huey Newton made me proud. Like, you got to put Berner up there. You know, you one of those guys, and you did it in a respectable, in a fashion, and like a gentleman and like a player, man. And I commend you for that, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate everything you're doing too, bro. Your podcast is dope. Your conversation is dope. You do research. You actually really put respect on the conversation you have with people. I didn't expect you to have this much knowledge on me, so pretty surprised, brother.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Bro.
Yes, sir.
Berner, can you, before we get out of here, can you lead the people with your social media?
Man, easy. Berner 415, BERNER 415 on Twitter and Instagram until they delete my ass, baby.
Straight up, man.
Yes,
and
sir.
Speaking of that, real quick though, Berner, you go back and forth. Sometime your Instagram get deleted. Sometime you be back. What is that? Is that a?
That's a bunch of sour ass haters that don't know how to work. Report my shit. Worried about what I'm doing.
Straight up, man.
Keep them bots coming, baby. I'm still here, you punk bitch.
Come on, you punk bitch, man.
Yeah.
I'm Lord Rab on everything. We know vultures, man. We gone.
Peace.
Thanks.
Stay all blue.
I'm just trying to stay racked up like you.
Put an 8 in a 1 and do magic. Tryna stretch hair on like elastic. Eco-friendly drug dealer, I don't waste no plastic. Use all 4 corners of that baggie. All I ever wanted was a bankroll. So I pull up on Champ before the bank close. Say no to stank hoes and stank clothes. No paramedic pimpin', nigga, we don't save hoes. Yeah, rest in peace to Lil